Hello, YTPC, Padre Piper. So good to be with you again. So nice to be enjoying a pipe again. This is my first pipe in close to 3 weeks. I had a bit of a cold and decided to stay away from the pipes and such. Actually, before I got the cold, I don't know, I'd gotten so busy. It'd been 3, 4, 5 days since I'd last smoked, and I suddenly got that tickle in the throat, and it just kind of progressed from there. And so, anyway, I've spent the better part of February not being able to enjoy pipes or choosing not to. A little bit of housekeeping tonight. I've got my Big Ben. Love this pipe. It's a good feel. It's a great looking pipe, and she smokes beautifully. And in it, I was in a mood for almost some dessert, I guess, something a little bit sweeter on the tooth. And so I went with some Holiday Spirit by McClellan. And yeah, we're heading into the second half of February, and it's a good way to kind of relive Thanksgiving and Christmas again with this blend. Mm, it's just good. Had kind of a really good dinner. It was a salty dinner. It was fried fish. That's big in these parts on Fridays during Lent, and so this little sweetness goes a long way. Uh, this weekend is International Pipe Smoking Day. We'll celebrate that on February the 20th. So I guess technically uh, that's tomorrow as I'm recording this on Friday evening. That'll be on Saturday. And that's kind of neat. I saw earlier in the week, I think it was February 18th, on Facebook, it was International Wine Drinking Day. So I guess everybody's getting their holidays these days. One of the things I was thinking about with this International Pipe Smoking Day, I think the pipe smoking community is going to have to do a better job of educating folks, regular folks, about our hobby. I'm amazed at how many people equate pipe smoking with cigarette smoking. And yes, are there some commonalities? hmm Are they the same thing? No, not even close. And here's some anecdotal evidence I'm going to offer to support my hypothesis that they're not even close. You think about your average cigarette smoker, and I'm not saying this in any way to disparage cigarette smokers. I believe one of the things about our country is we need to be careful with all the rights that we're taking away from people. See, they come after the Q's and the P's today, and you say, well, that's not me, but sooner or later, they'll get to you. You're a Y or Z, and they'll get to you. And I think that the backlash against cigarette smoke and on how unhealthy it is for you and such is really carried over toward cigar and pipe smokers. And I'm more, I guess, concerned about pipe smokers because I am one. Um, but again, the average cigarette smoker, there's no polite way to say this, they're an addict. From the moment they're waking up to the moment they're going to bed, they're thinking about their next smoke. And when their nicotine levels in their blood plasma drop, they are figuring out a way to re-energize their nicotine levels in their blood system so that they don't go into withdrawal. I don't think that's the case with most pipe smokers. I'm not going to say that's not the case for all pipe smokers. I mean, I think there are some pipe smokers who are probably addicts, and that's unfortunate. And I think that's when it ceases to be a hobby and it's not even a habit at that point. It's an addiction. And I think people owe it to themselves to make sure that, they don't get themselves in that kind of predicament because that's not good. But, again, the average cigarette smoker, this was where I was going with this, not to disparage them, but if they get sick, I don't think they're quitting for 3 weeks. I don't think they're quitting for 3 hours. And yet, the average pipe smoker, that's exactly what's going to happen. If they can't enjoy the flavors and the aromas of their hobby, they're probably just going to not do it until they're feeling better. And, this same time that I was off the pipe over a different channel, Smoking Briar, he does some great videos. You should check him out. He also sounded like very similar stuff to me. He had the head cold and the congestion and the laryngitis and such. And so he wasn't smoking. He was still making some videos. But again, he wasn't smoking. And, all of these products are not created equal. Just because they're all tobacco doesn't mean it's all the same stuff. You can call me a cynic or you can call me paranoid if you want. I happen to think the tobacco industry with regard to cigarettes has been evil, and what they have done over time is purposely addicted people. They've cranked up the amount of nicotine in cigarettes, and I think it's some bizarre hybrid version of tobacco and or nicotine that they put in there, and God knows what other chemicals they put in there as well. And I just don't think it's the same for pipes. I just don't. You're welcome to disagree with me if you want. But addictions are funny things. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that right now during Lent, I've made a decision to not purchase any pipes or any pipe tobaccos. Am I addicted to purchasing pipes and pipe tobaccos? No, I don't think I'm truly addicted to it. I'm not going through physiological or psychological withdrawal. But I'll tell you, it's sacrificial for me because I'll watch something on YouTube and I'll see somebody talking about a new blend and I'll say, ooh, wow. And, then I'm looking it up and I'm looking at all the reviews and I'm thinking, hey, I could like that. And I'll go over and start pricing it and maybe putting in an order. And it's really shaped my behavior thus far in Lent that I can't just do that. I've got to curb that enthusiasm. I've got to curb that impulsivity, if you will, to just say, throw that into the cart and buy. And I don't need to. I've got more than enough pipes. I've got more than enough pipe tobacco stashed away. I mean, if I didn't buy any more tobacco and I smoke at the rate that I typically smoke, a couple times a week, I've probably got enough tobacco to last me for several years. I've got stuff right now that's not even open that I haven't even gotten to trying. So I don't need it. I impulsively buy it. And so I've decided for the 40 days of Lent, I'm not going to do that. And it's been difficult. It's been hard. And here comes Super Dog. Hi, Annie. Hello, Sweet Pea. Thank you for those sweet kisses. So it's, hi, Annie. Okay, I'm trying to make a video for my friends here on YouTube. All right? So, very good. All right, Sweet Pea. Okay. All right, thank you. I'm going to try and get through this video without Annie insisting on her Friday evening loving and attention. And she's just totally broke my concentration. But anyway, addictions, as I was saying, they're kind of funny things. I get a kick out of the people who will give a pipe smoker crud about being a pipe smoker, and yet they very well may be 150 pounds overweight as they're doing that. Maybe they're addicted to food. Do you think that that's healthy? Yeah, it's probably not. Even within health, people can get addicted to stuff. I used to do a fair amount of running. I used to enjoy running. It's good exercise. It's great for keeping weight at a good level. It's fantastic for cardiovascular conditioning. Over time, my knees don't appreciate it, and so I'm not able to do it like I used to. But I've got friends who are runners, and I'll tell you, I know a couple, and I'm fairly well convinced they are addicted to running. I really believe it. They're addicted to running. They get an endorphin rush. They get a runner's high. And you think, well, running's supposed to be healthy. I think if you're addicted to it, it's probably not healthy. And if you can't not do it, you might be addicted to it. There are folks who I know who have had plastic surgery. And it starts off with a little bit of Botox here and a little nip and tuck there, and then it just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. And there are surgeons out there who will support those folks in their habit and their addiction. That's healthcare. I think that's fairly unethical. I think it's morally bankrupt. So I say all that, and I guess I'm in a little bit of a rant tonight, just because I think that the pipe smoking community, I think we get a bum rap. I really do. I think we enjoy a hobby. I'm not going to sit here and say it's totally safe and that it has no risks associated with it. I think people who enjoy wine also understand that there could be risks associated with enjoying wine or having a wine hobby. Yeah, there's some research that suggests that a fair amount of wine, moderation might be good for you, but not for everybody. Some people can't handle it. I know people who I bet would give me crud about smoking a pipe, yet they won't wear a seatbelt when they get in a car. Now you tell me. Smoking a bowl a couple times a week, driving around the city every day, not wearing your seatbelt. Seriously, which one do you think has the greater potential for harm? Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all of this. It's just something I feel like as we approach this International Pipe Smoking Day, I think it's just something I needed to get off my chest. I think pipe smokers, by and large, are good people. I think the hobby that they enjoy for most of them is just that. It's a hobby. I think it probably in some ways has some health benefits. The folks who want to believe that it's not good for them and that it's not good for pipe smokers to smoke and that it doesn't help them relieve stress and they could find better ways to relieve stress, they're never going to be convinced otherwise, and that's okay. I just think as pipe smokers we need to be maybe a little better united, figuring out a way to educate people that, and again, I'm not throwing cigarette smokers under the bus. I'm just saying this is not the same thing. A pipe smoker is not the same beast as a cigarette smoker. You know what I'm reminded of? It's a wonderful quote by Mark Twain. He said, "All good things in moderation, especially moderation." I say this, I'm Padre Piper. I'm wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.